up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation for a bunch of news, nerds, and a special guest returning to the show. We got Blastin Astrid from the Five-Sided Fates.
And my feet. And her feet.
And I'm not saying it. It's just going to be weird if I say it. Anyway, see us come by because this weekend is Dallas Fan Expo. And, of course, the D&D Tavern will be back, running some games and everything, and we're going to be helping them out a little bit with some fun. So anyway, I am Jason X. Of course, over here is our guest, Blastin Astrid. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
This is like the most normal, like you've been on the show.
Yeah, I dressed down to be cool and casual and relatable. Well,
you kind of come in and just like show us all up, like just
Thanks,
fabulous.
Jason.
She does, I don't have any frame reference for that, though. Anyway, hey, Kat, how you doing, buddy?
I was fine.
You actually do look pretty good this week.
Your
makeup, like, as somebody that doesn't notice stuff like that, like, I am quite impressed, actually.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I'm wearing earrings. That never happens.
I know, it's crazy.
And you're not.
Yeah.
Ah, the earrings, that's what's
I'm
new.
not allowed.
You've certainly, you've glammed up, like, for this one. Anyway.
I made my shirt.
You...
Nobody cares about my feet.
Can I get my thing back, please?
My feet? Oh no! You probably did.
Oh, I can't wait to
Go ahead.
clip the short of Jason requesting Cass's feet.
Did you see the look of horror on my face when she went weird?
That's on the internet.
It's everybody. That's Cass enjoying the new Aloy figure that we procured through other means. But
it sounds like you stole it.
It really
would that really be above me though?
I'm not.
If I had the opportunity to steal something like that, anyway.
So you're saying she shouldn't, but
she does. She does look really good.
Thank you.
Like genuinely.
They'll be putting a review on the channel soon, but I gotta admit, as somebody that was skeptical, it's a really nice figure. And of course, over there, making everything look good, sound great. It's Cora.
You're looking pretty good herself.
Yeah. She's got her classic Castlevania. Oh, and she's got her new necklace that she procured at DreamHack this weekend. Which,
what is it?
Guys,
wow, what was that like,
It's
Jason?
the seal from the Neverending Story.
Yes, it is. We found a booth that we had to be somewhere at a certain time.
Yeah.
But it was like full of pins and trinkets and just a bunch of cool items. Then when I saw it, all protest of "we have to go," I knew had to cease because Cora was laser shot for that booth.
To be fair, we had plenty of time to do what we did and get back.
Yeah. And you spent every ounce that you could in that booth. And I was like, I'm not even going to.
I'm embarrassed.
Not even.
I'm embarraised by the amount of pins I grabbed.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't be.
But speaking of that, let's go ahead. DreamHack this weekend, K. Bailey Hutchinson Center. Wow.
55,000 attendees.
The most they've ever
A
had.
record for them, and one of the most well-run communicative cons I've ever been to. I actually emailed Nick back after the last day and said, "Dude, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And I didn't do enough this year, and I'm never going to make that mistake again. Like, you did a great job."
I kept saying, Cora and I were talking, because we got to talk to the event director, Guy Blumberg. Very nice guy.
Oh, so nice.
Really knowledgeable guy. And just the sheer fact, if you've watched, that interview is up on our channel already. Indie developers got their tables for free there.
Wow. They're
talking about even expanding them more, bringing in scouts for them. They use up every inch of that floor at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center.
Ooh, and my feet felt that too.
Yeah.
I did 20 miles both days, like walking. So I know you did the same amount because you were.
Yeah, but,
But talk about the vibe for the event.
Great vibe. And one of the most diverse cons I've been to as far as number of things going on.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
they had stunt bikes.
Ha!
They had a dude doing stunt bike tricks.
They had a Jinx on a ring hanging upside down circus style. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out,
so cool.
The tickets for this con were actually cheaper than you would find for a lot of larger, well, not larger, but a lot of more
popular,
well-known,
long-running, let's go ahead and say that, cons.
Corporate.
I gotta say, this event hit it on all cylinders.
Absolutely.
And with
events
like E3 being canceled, I am serious. This could be the next big E3.
Yeah.
If not already.
And that's not to say that they didn't luck into anything. Some things were hard, like the D&D one-shot started late. We requested a number of interviews that they tried to help us get. We couldn't.
Yeah.
It's not that we got everything we wanted, so now we can't shut up about it. It was just very well communicated. We were able to text the event coordinator, the PR guy, and just ask him questions. And even if the answer was no, having that ability is huge.
Yeah.
Someone answering your emails and showing up and like knowing what's happening.
Well, even in their press room, they were always had a representative in there at all times, and they were easily approachable. I really like DreamHack. That's a good event. But also, you had the tabletop representation on like one half. You had
an entire room of magic.
You had 4 or 5 main stages going with competition games going.
Yeah.
The vendors just, dang, man.
It was just a lot of fun. There was so much to do and see. There was a drag show.
Also,
There was a drag show.
That's awesome.
Suck it, Ken Paxton.
There was a drag show, and like, you know, like I like a few different things. I unlocked a new one when one very, very tall, very haughty looking walked right by me, and I was kind of side-eyed me like, and I was like, oh
wow,
that's a new one. That's a new, okay.
Who were the drag queens? Were they like local? Or
I
like
didn't get to go to the drag
focused
show.
ones?
That's a question for Jason because I also didn't get to go.
I don't know
I
names.
thought you said you went though.
No, I
We
don't
have
know
some
names. I don't
legendary
remember.
queens here.
There was one, the MC was somebody big, Emmy nominated somebody. I'll tell you who the
I have no
MC
idea
was
who
in a
people are.
second.
I am sad some of the local drag kings and drag queens were not there, but that was because Dallas Pride had a show that night as well at Fair Park. So
also, and this is just like a personal preference, to all the other conventions, maybe turn down your lights, because like it was dark and then there were lights everywhere and it was so much cooler feeling to be there than like when you go to
Like
Fan Expo and it's
vibes.
Right.
yeah, very quick con vibe. And I get that it's
Old
video
school
games
like
and so
that.
you have a lot of that, but if Kay Bailey has that capacity, use it.
Apparently so.
It was cool.
Let's-
It was
let's-
super
A
cool.
bar has been set as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
oh,
Anyway.
absolutely.
But excellent event, and we will have a sharp contrast to that because we will be at Fan Expo this
Bitch
weekend.
pudding. Bitch pudding was the
Bitch
MC.
pudding.
That's an amazing name.
yeah, it is.
I think it's
I'm a
bitch.
fan already.
It's BIQTCH. So I'm not sure.
yeah,
if it's
that sounds like it's meant to be pronounced bitch.
Oh yeah.
bitch or
But in a
bitch. I don't
French
know.
way.
Fancy
Beach.
skull. But before we get to like the news and such, I do want to spotlight our guest here, because while we are at Fan Expo this weekend, you guys are bringing back some more D&D and the room with all of the gaming and fun and photo opportunities. But there's more this year, apparently.
There's even more this year. Fan Expo has been giving us more and more each year. We do all this like tabletop RPG community stuff, and it's so awesome to see them supporting that. We've now had like 2 people who I've been in contact with at Fan Expo who like know what D&D is and who like understand how long it takes or knew what actually was and knew who Brennan Lee Mulligan was. So I think that there's been an effort to educate people and themselves about it, which we just love to see that in administration. So that's been really cool. So we will have 5 different game sessions, not 6. 5 different game sessions. You can play on Friday, twice on Saturday, and twice on Sunday. If you want to sign up to play in a one-shot, we've got 8 tables going in each of those sessions. So 5 times 8 is
40.
40 games of tabletop role-playing stuff, which is mostly D&D. But this year they also encouraged us to do more TTRPG systems like Candela Obscura. We've got Daggerheart games. We have someone running an improv-heavy system called Roll for Shoes.
Sure.
So if you want to play
I've
Roll
actually
for
heard of
Shoes,
that.
it looked super fun and also super easy. Yeah, if you want to play a tabletop role-playing game, come find us in room D220, and we will be there. We can help you create a character. If you're nervous about creating a character, we've got our TTRPG specialists, so you know how to use all those different systems and can help you get a character rolled up. We've also got a lot of like pickup games happening too, in case you want to run a game. We've got 2 or 3 tables free in almost every session. Not on Saturday, we're all booked up, but like,
of course,
yeah. So in addition to that, we've got panels.
Are you sure we can fit like maybe a little bit of speedy RPG in? Just oh, look at that! I don't know where this came from.
This is like Jason's fake ads that he does for D&D,
Actually, I played
except this one's real.
I actually played this with the kids last night for a couple of games. They enjoyed it thoroughly, so it was fun. But also, when I went through it,
aww,
I forgot it was a card for a second.
Is that?
Do you want to? Would you like to tell the audience about that, or was that just special for us?
Oh no, I actually just wanted to plug that I got my game. Yeah, I got the thing. I got this and the Aloy on the same day, so it was a good day.
And the character that you created for that is other people can see that. That's not just a custom for you. That's
I got a special thank you for being the OG backer, because this is the first Kickstarter I was #1 on. So
nice.
I am very happy. No one plays this character. It's me.
Well,
that's
not
opposite
very
of
much in the spirit as a game.
You're only supposed to worship the card, not play it, not use it.
You do a
You can frame
reprint, and I wasn't here last time to tell you in person. You need to put the bootstraps of Boomer Lord in there. The lead designer for MCDM liked the concept of bootstraps of Boomer Lore. Christian told him about it in a chat, and I was like,
it's a good.
What's the one y'all are in this year? Is it the same one?
No, we are actually right on that first hallway. It's even closer. It's where Abby Candy's photography booth was last year, so it's room D220.
Want to make sure.
Pretty sure I'm right about that.
They kind of tucked y'all away a little bit, but everyone found their way there anyway.
Yeah, and it was full up last year, so if you want to play in a game, I recommend you get signed up on Friday.
That's what I was going to ask. How does that sign up work?
So we will have physical signups. We toyed with doing online signups, but it was just too crazy. And also, we get a lot of foot traffic right in that first hallway because we're one of the first things that you get to interact with, which is super cool. So come physically sign up. We have 6 spots per table and about 8 tables for each session. And last year, those filled up on Friday at like 5 o'clock. And even though we maybe had some people change their schedule, so if a person drops, you might get lucky and come by later in the weekend and still get a player spot. But I would recommend get there Friday, sign up, because we've got great GMs, and I think people know about it a little bit more now. So
people are
probably.
So if they get there
y'all did
and
a good
they
showing.
can't sign up, should they drop by when games are going to start to see if they might?
Oh yeah,
slide
periodically, like in the first 10 or 15 minutes of when a game starts, just in case somebody either isn't there or is stuck in a line waiting for a photo op and can't get out of it or something. People drop, people's schedules change. So if you don't get signed up on Friday and it does fill up faster than you're able to get to the con, then just drop on by at the beginning of each game session and we might be able to fit you in. Okay. Or some DMs might be cool with adding a 7th player. You might be able to hop in. You never know. People in this room have been nothing but really cool and really accommodating and really awesome. So you'll find good community there and just people who want to talk D&D, even if you don't get to play.
Sometimes it's fun to just be nearby listening to a game.
Well, also, this room did
con, I did some of that.
Or if I end up being in a game, there's a chance that you can drop in after I almost immediately die. Like I did at FateCon.
At FateCon 20 minutes in, she's done.
Immediate death, wow.
Open play tabletop gaming, it says D173.
So we do have panels in addition to games. I'm glad if it's the 3 digits, then 220 is right. So where all the games happening is in D220. Okay. In addition to games, you were saying, we will also have panels on how to create a character, dungeon master tips, wonderful one-shots, how to make one-shots just as satisfying as long campaigns, because whoever finishes a level 1 to level 20 campaign anymore, really. So one-shots.
Working on it. We skipped a bunch in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the thing that I'm super excited about that I've been working on all weekend writing questions for is our D&D specific game of Actually that I'm going to host, and the players will be your cast of Super Cool Nerd Show.
Yeah! I'm going to destroy everyone.
Sure. You're going to destroy everyone in the rules for
Once
D&D.
you learn your action economy, let us know.
How does casting 2 spells in a round work, Jason?
Curse my hubris!
How many leveled spells can you do in 1 turn?
I'm still gonna go in with that same energy.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I feel like
your
humbles
hubris.
people quick. So even the nerds on Dropout right,
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
humble. But even franchises that they know a lot about.
But it's more, also being funny in it. So I'm pretty good at that portion. Now,
That's true.
Now, the one thing that got y'all so much, besides just the gaming, y'all had like those cool photo booths and everything where people could like take the pictures, and there were always people lining up to do that.
Yep.
Are we gonna have more of that this year too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
We, Jerry and I crafted a set. We went to Lowe's and bought some like foam board, and we hid a couple of like
XPS
critical.
foam is where it's at.
Yeah, and it's gray now. It's not even pink anymore. So we're like,
I
oh, it's
haven't
already
been there
gray. It
since
looks
Game
like
changer.
stone. So we made some sets. We hit a couple of like critical role jokes in the background. So we will have a photograph set that you can come in and take pictures with D20s, and we've got all of our props. And
Do you want me to bring my D20 pillow?
The foot traffic.
Please do.
The foot traffic for you guys' room at the last event was just
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. Which was super fun and really cool, honestly, to like see that there were that many people that cared and wanted to be part of it and had so much to contribute, or people who had never played D&D ever but had always been interested. I feel like there's a high barrier to entry sometimes because you either also have to have friends who play D&D, or you gotta buy minis and a book, you gotta learn math. Like, so it is kind of a...
Math was my barrier.
That is still my barrier.
8 D6s. How many could that? What's the max? What's the?
Right. Sometimes just counting and doing addition and subtraction is beyond me.
The producer's staring at me because I hit the microphone. Sorry.
So my
Jason, we all voted. This is your last night, but we will need to continue to use
Can
your
I at
house.
least stay in the house?
No.
Nope, my house
What?
now.
I bought this.
You don't have to ask Becky about that. Like, it's
Yeah.
not my.
Is she the,
We'll see who she
is she the
sides with.
silent board member?
So my only barrier with the actually game and being in it, the rules that I remember the most are from either 3.5 D&D or Pathfinder, which are very similar, especially with how things like cleric works. I only know how it works in Pathfinder. I don't know how it works in 5e.
And all of these are 5e specific, so this will be fun. But and like you said, the whole point really is because it's never like an obvious answer, right? It's something pedantic and shitty, and it's supposed to be like that. Like I'm gonna say something like the range is 20 feet when the range is really 30 feet, and that's what's wrong with the question. So like there's silly stuff like that, but really it's just an excuse to talk about fun rules and fun monsters and fun like concepts that I personally like.
What is actually what is that? Will you give us a brief overview?
Actually is a Jeopardy style trivia game where the host will present factually incorrect statements, and the job of the panelists is to listen to that statement, figure out what is wrong, buzz in first, start your statement with actually, and give me the correction, or at least find what's wrong. If you don't say actually at the beginning, kind of like Jeopardy, then someone can swoop in and steal the point, even if you got the correction right. So there's friendships will be tested. Bonds
What about
will
families?
Which every week on this show.
So hopefully it will be fun. And I do have a sample question.
Ooh.
Just so you can
Let me
get
just
an
go to
idea.
the-
Now, this is not about D&D. This is an actual question that was asked on actually. And, usually they have, like, general nerd ideas. But this is about Transformers.
Oh man.
There's no way I'm gonna get it.
Well,
You
they're
can laugh
kind of-
tonight.
They're kind of like Transformers. This is actually about GoBots. So,
Oh! So you know even more about this.
Yeah, it's your favorite thing.
it's your favorite game. I did this especially for you. Also, okay, here we go. While GoBots and Transformers are both transforming robots, there are differences between the two races. For one, all GoBots can fly and shoot energy from their fists. Also, almost all GoBots feature names that are either just their vehicles, like Scooter or Dumper, or puns based off of their vehicles, like police car Hans Cuff, space shuttle Spacey, or the Jeep Jeeper Creeper.
Actually, not all of them can fly.
That is incorrect. They
That
can
that
do
is
things like
really
fly.
funny.
Have we found what's wrong yet?
Actually,
All GoBots can fly.
there's no I named Jeeper Creeper.
There is actually
Okay.
a GoBot
Oh.
named Jeeper Creeper.
Okay, I do like that actually.
Mm-hmm. We can give
Actually. not all of their names are puns.
Ooh.
Or based on the thing.
Now, I would have a fact checker. So Jerry, little Jerry Bear 47, my partner in crime here at Fan Expo, is going to be fact checking me. So like,
oh good.
if
She
you
should
say
brag
something,
so good.
might be.
she's perfect. I think. For
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So like, if there's something that I don't know, even though I do have extensive knowledge of GoBots, I might not know. So
I'm actually
that's not the thing that I'm looking for in this particular statement. But you would get a point if you find something incorrect that I didn't even know.
Actually, they're all terrible. There's that.
You're closer,
Thank you,
actually.
thank you.
Actually, they don't shoot from their fists.
That's.
Do you want me to read it one more time?
Yes.
Read it one
Okay.
more time.
And in the game, in the room, which is going to be on Saturday at 6 p.m. in D173.
This is going to be fun.
Okay.
Good
Here's
times,
the entire statement just one last time.
I feel so stabbed in the back.
I love it.
While GoBots and Transformers are both transforming robots, there are differences between the two races. For one, all GoBots can fly and shoot energy from their fists. Also, almost all GoBots feature names that are either just their vehicles like Scooter or Dumper, or puns based off of their vehicles like Police Car Hans Cuff, Space Shuttle Spacey, or the Jeep Jeeper Creeper.
Actually, they're not both robots.
Correct!
Oh!
Correct!
Wait,
what is... Okay, so you found what's wrong, and I'll give you the point if you can...
Can I try and expand on
Get
it?
in there, yeah.
I
What
think
is the
one of them
correct
is more biomechanical, kind of like cyborgy or something.
thing? Yes!
Actually, Transformers have a spark or a soul, whereas GoBots do not.
That doesn't make them not robots, though.
While that is true, you have got the correct thing.
Yes!
That they are not both transforming robots. GoBots start out as humans and replace parts of their anatomy with machines, making them cyborgs, which is exactly the word that you said. And one of the episodes actually features them proving that they're not robots by disgustingly showing people their brains.
Hey, actually, that's horrifying. I hate that.
I'm so happy
This is why they lost the war.
I'm so happy that I won and that Jason had
got a
put up
point.
the Aloy as the prize for winning on the show tonight.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
you
we're taking
remember
this
when
home.
we
Congratulations!
discussed that? Cass, I'm gonna give this
Jason
to
is
you.
Oh, thank you. Is there a prize? Is there a prize?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Did you
I hope so.
started to say something and then I don't want to put you on the spot here. Were you going to say that there's going to be visual for the question?
Yes, so you'll be able to read
That'll
it.
help me.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So you'll be able to read it. I've got a little PowerPoint
Well, that was fun.
presentation that I
Perfect.
spent too much time on. Hopefully it was fun. And right, it's supposed to be silly and the points don't matter. They do
I was
matter.
really hoping
Yeah.
it was going to be about Transformers. My hopes just dashed.
It kind of was about Transformers. I'm
I'm-
sorry to...
to do the switcheroo.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite parts about actually is that knowing more about it does not
Doesn't help.
guarantee that you get points sometimes. Like there's people with me that are like, that sounds off enough that I think I can challenge it.
That's
and
fucking horrifying. I'm sorry, I'm stunned. So much.
People, their
Like, that's
physical brains.
really,
Google
that's
it.
awful.
Good
No.
man, kids in the 80s and 90s, like,
Built different.
we had hard time. I showed her the
Oh,
other
yeah.
day. All Dogs Go to Heaven terrified me as a child,
Aww.
and she said, "Why?" And I was like, "I think the dog is going to hell." Is the premise of it because of something he did. So we looked
Yeah.
it up, and he has a nightmare that's this extremely Judeo-Christian hell
Yeah.
scene
Yeah.
that's very long, and it's this PG children's movie. And I was like, "That's why it scared me growing up."
And,
What the was that doing?
and now we
there?
find out that Jason's favorite robots aren't even robots; they're cyborgs.
They're
And it's all this
Happy
going
to
on.
expose parts of their brain.
Yeah.
I gotta ask if y'all watched this because I watched a lot of it. Mighty Max.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah.
I watched Mighty Mouse.
Thank you. I'm so glad. So Mighty Max was this kid who could use the freezer section of his local grocery store to teleport to different places on Earth, sometimes different places in time. The villain was played.
TARDIS, but it's
The villain was played by Tim Curry.
Amazing.
Already amazing
Tim
and
Curry did a lot of
elevated.
voices in
Love
that.
that.
The villain was designed absolutely terrifying. He was like a walking skeleton man, but beefy and scary, and was trying to kill this child. The child's best friends,
As you do.
the child's two companions were a barbarian and an owl mage.
Nice.
The episode I watched
That was a weird
that I
show.
remember the most that actually did kind of scare me was an episode where they went to Norway to fight a dragon, and they got eaten by the dragon. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah,
That's creepy.
Blasting
I don't like
Vandal.
that.
but with a hot
never-
voice.
The never-ending
Yeah.
story. And
Oh
being
my
taken
God.
over by nothingness. Your memories being eliminated.
Existential.
Crisis.
Yeah, existential horror.
Terrifying.
I will never forgive Netflix for the thumbnail for Neverending Story being the horse scene.
Are you serious?
The thumbnail is Atreus and the horse is already neck deep. I'm like-
Atreus is Kratos' son.
Where he's trying to like
Atreyu.
pull the horse out. That and Atreyu, sorry. But yeah, that's the thumbnail. You made a conscious
hilarious.
decision to use that for the thumbnail. Netflix, go to hell.
They couldn't use Atreyu on the dragon.
You could have used anything, literally anything.
It
out of
would
princess?
get the image that gets the most emotion out of you, so you remember, so you get that
Yeah.
hit of nostalgia.
Would we be talking about
Horse
it?
dying?
Yeah.
I get nostalgia
Out of
from the horse dying.
Out of 189 minutes runtime, you chose this 5 minutes, you bastards.
And you know what's equally unacceptable? Maybe they didn't choose the thumbnail. Which
Yeah, I did.
most programs will auto-select it. I don't know if
Yeah.
Netflix uses it, but that is
Oh.
equally inexcusable
Anyway.
to not
They could have used.
double check.
They could have used the little girl at the end.
Anything.
I
Literally
tried to
anything.
cosplay Galadriel when I was like 10, and everybody in the world's like, "Oh, the girl from the Neverending." And I was like, "No, I'm Galadriel," and it did not work at all.
You use the thumbnail of Atreyu's face when he's either smiling or because every
Right.
4-year-old had a crush.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Gotcha.
maintain,
Yeah.
regardless of gender, every 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old was like, look at how pretty.
Oh,
Pretty
I
androgynous.
Yeah.
I
it's
wanted
classic.
to travel there so that like we could go on adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like in the vein of like the thumbnail, the one for the Dark Crystal, at least for a while, was the Dark Crystal. It was the
Yes.
crystal
Makes
floating.
sense.
They use like I don't know where in the like specifically where in the film that shot is from.
Mhm.
So I can't say if it's like a certain point, but like they knew to show the cool shiny crystal
Yeah. Or
You-
like Labyrinth, you just have a picture
of David Bowie.
Just
of David Bowie's
that's
crotch.
At any
Yeah.
point. Use
Whatever
That's
hits
what I-
the hardest.
That's what I have
is
nostalgia for, is
Sebastian.
David Bowie's crotch.
Sebastian riding on Falcor. Like, I think
Let me-
that's what you
yeah,
have to
Let me
use.
turn this car back around.
Anyway, I'm actually
Sorry,
So
not
make sure
sorry.
you come by and check out all the D&D stuff brought to us by the Five Sided Fates.
But
at Fan Expo.
especially Saturday, 6 p.m.,
Oh, absolutely.
room D.
Because
That's gonna
clearly,
be a
if we're
problem.
gonna go on
73.
nerd tangents about pedantic stuff.
Like
People are
this?
gonna get upset.
No.
People, there will be raised voices in
Oh.
a fun way.
Well, all three of them, but you two found out how competitive I get when we were playing that video game and I kept
yeah.
losing and I almost bitch slapped Cora because I was so mad about it.
I mean,
That
honestly,
video game.
I'd have paid money.
Fall Guys?
no, it was
Fall-
Kirby. It was
Oh, it
Kirby's
was
Dream
Kirby.
Buffet.
Yeah, I got real mad about it.
You're thinking of a different time you got so mad and almost bitch slapped somebody than I was.
Oh,
I was
no,
thinking
when
Donkey
we-
Kong Country.
Yeah,
Or when we played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
or any time
or-
we've played a video game.
I mean, honestly, I would have been laughing if you just like.
Yeah, I was so mad about it.
So we cannot promise no violence.
Yeah.
But it will be fun. And
Absolutely.
the violence won't
I
be
can
crowd.
never make that promise.
It will be entertaining for you, the
Oh,
audience.
definitely, I'm sure.
And for me.
We won't be competitive at
And
all.
for us.
All right.
One of
Dance
us might.
monkeys.
I'm so glad y'all get this out of your system. It's amazing.
That's
This
a
is the
never-ending
ramp
supply.
up. What
Yeah,
are you
this
talking
is
about?
the promo for the Momo.
This is the storm before the storm.
This is like a horror trailer. We're not showing the good stuff yet.
That's
It
true.
gets way
it's gonna get
bigger.
worse.
There's
Get
Abigail,
worse.
apparently.
There's gonna be some
Like
names
most
called,
horror
some
trailers.
feelings hurt, some whiskey drunk. Anyway,
Apple juice.
Oh yeah, like that's what we're doing now.
Not
Cool. I can't wait for this weekend. It's going to be awesome. And we'll be there probably asking some short questions on the floor as well.
You can find me in Neil Newbun's line.
We need to find some questions to ask.
I want to do, I think we should do a few different ones, but I do think we should continue
I still like the one with the Frankenstein and the Wolfman.
The mommy, who's the most mommy horror
That's
villain?
what I'm
the most
saying.
daddy horror
She
villain.
just ends up with...
We didn't ask you. Yeah.
We didn't ask you.
Oh, God.
Specifically in
or
horror.
mommy and or mommy.
Ooh, yeah,
Welcome to our
look at
next
that
short.
camera.
Anyway.
Right.
Oh no, I didn't prepare for this.
It's gut reaction.
I'm not ready.
We'll come back around to it.
Start the news, and then I have a great segue from there.
Okay, then. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off with some super cool nerd news.
All right, we're just gonna go ahead and shoot over to Cal
That's okay. I clipped
because
that
the
out anyway.
music stopped
Cool.
for some reason.
Which camera am I looking at? This one?
Yeah, one.
Cool. So, speaking of villains that some people think are daddy, and I think
monster fuckers.
is
Jeez.
just really gross to think of it as daddy, but like, no kink shaming. Anyway, if you loved It and It Chapter 2, the more recent ones done by Andy Muschietti, then I have some great news for you. Max is making a series with Andy Muschietti called Welcome to Derry, which is the town that it is set in. That's an origin story for Pennywise.
Wow.
And as of this week, they announced you're not going to have to re-familiarize yourself with a new looking Pennywise because they have Skarsgård.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
Heck
gonna
yeah.
come out, I think, next year, and I don't think we have a specific date. It's a 1960s origin story with Bill Skarsgård, Andy, and Barbara, his sister, who produces for him, are the creators of it. Andy is directing several of the episodes. It's why I'm wearing little red balloons. It was themed. Obviously, the rest of the cast won't be in it because it's in the 60s.
It's pretty cool.
It's 9 episodes in the first season in 2025.
Oh, first season.
Well, it says the first
Oh, okay.
season.
I thought there was a specification like, hey, we already did 2. We're doing 2.
It says
at the same
Max
time.
will stream the first 9 episode season in 2025.
They got Skarsgård.
I'm so glad that
They
it's a
got
TV
Skarsgård.
series too. I
Whatever
feel like
money
those
he
get-
asked for, give it to him.
I'm so excited about this, and I'm probably less excited than Cass. Both of us love these movies, but Cass watched it as like a comfort film.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a comfort movie for me. I don't know. It just is. It just is.
I love
Especially
it
the
too.
first one.
I
Yeah.
love clowncore, anything, and especially like creepy.
I'm sorry.
It makes me really happy.
What?
Comfort.
What's wrong with y'all?
I have a mental illness.
Okay, no.
What do you want? I will, and I've talked about this on this show before. I did not watch horror until 2016 when I got diagnosed, and horror genuinely calms me down because it gives my anxiety somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And so I watch a lot of horror as comfort too.
I'd like to interject that while this is Pride Month, it also is Men's Health Month, and I'd like to go ahead and invite Cass over to that.
yeah,
Just
panic.
all the help you need.
Panic
We got
is
you.
fight or flight,
I
not
choose
having
pride.
somewhere to go. So
Yeah.
True.
horror can be very calming, and like this is a recent thing that they've actually started looking at, but it's been true for both Cass and I that it gives that something's wrong, somewhere to go.
Yeah. It's like you get to experience fear in a safe place because you know it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
I've heard this in discussions with like Courage the Cowardly Dog and a lot of the like old like children's
It's
horror
probably in
that
Blue
like
somewhere.
it's super healthy for kids to have horror that they can watch. Like Are You Afraid of
Coraline.
the Dark? Coraline, Courage the Cowardly Dog, because
Goosebumps.
they get a way to experience fear, fight or flight, or how you would react in a scary situation in a safe way when they know that they're like in their house and safe and it's okay.
Yeah,
so it's like a comfortable way.
My thing isn't actually weird. My thing is cool and supported by science.
And also, It has been shown that kids actually really like the stories that horror tells, especially ones that are catered more towards them.
Yeah.
I believe, like, when Neil Gaiman was writing Coraline, it may have been with a different story that I'm thinking of, but we're going to use this as blanket example. Gentleman was writing a horror story, kind of, by telling it to his child. And his daughter specifically would not tell him that she was terrified of this story because she knew he would stop because he didn't want to scare her. But that's what she wanted because she also wanted the ending.
It is Coraline.
It was Coraline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take it from a very, very, very sheltered young child. You cannot prevent your children from being afraid. That's not something you can prevent.
The Heffalumps and Woozle song from Winnie the Pooh scared the shit out of me.
It was terrifying.
And that's why kids' stories are so creepy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, everyone talks about how, like, you know, kids' stories get Disney-fied, or they take out all the blood and gore and horror from Disney princess stories. But those stories were creepy for a reason.
Yeah.
Because kids like that stuff.
And being left with implied threats can be worse.
Yeah.
Like, I heard, speaking all the way back to It, I heard the story of It at a slumber party when I was, I don't know, young. And the telling of it scared the crap out of me for years. And then when I finally saw the 90s version of It, I was like,
See,
This is nothing.
Yeah.
I love Tim Curry, but like,
Yeah.
my grandparents bought a lot of books. They love Stephen King novels. And when It came out, I was told, oh, don't read that book. That's not for you. Oh, okay, cool. And read it under a blanket with a flashlight in the middle of the night, which is the worst place to read a book.
Yeah.
A terrifying night.
Especially that one.
And then it's like you finish the book like, wow, turn your light off. Wait, click back on.
Back on.
Back on. Back on.
Immediate.
But I'm excited. I did love
Super
Skarsgård's depiction
Also,
of
that eye
Pennywise.
thing is crazy.
I think he can just do that.
Yeah, I was like,
Is
that
he
had
your
to be
daddy
CGI.
answer?
No.
Actually, our most popular short right now is hers. Oh, wait, no, somebody said It.
A couple
Someone
of
said Pennywise.
Someone
Yeah.
is Megan, I think.
Yeah, someone did
Yep.
say Pennywise. I'm still disappointed in the horror community that no one said Pyramid Head.
Oh, I saw
Okay,
I
yeah,
saw
that's
a
mine.
sexy lady pyramid head cosplay. That was incredible.
Yes.
And then
Remind
my
me of the show. I have something to show you.
I don't understand these people.
my horror mommy is the same one that when I asked the question, somebody said, which is Lady Dimitrescu.
Yes.
From
Oh,
Resident
yes.
Evil. Like,
That's who immediately.
Step on
you
me,
asked
please.
my
Big
gut
it for
reaction,
Vampire
that
Lady
was
Lesbian.
it.
Uppies.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was what my gut
Uppies.
said. But my brain and what's my full like TikTok algorithm right now is just like sexy edits of the ghoul from Fallout.
That's also
can get it.
acceptable,
Walton
honestly.
He
Like,
can get it.
Goggins has a weird pull to
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and especially in that character.
Also, checkmate incels.
yeah.
Oh, what's it called? Boats right here. We're all in your watch.
No, you don't need a nose. You don't need to be nice.
Have you ever seen a looks maxing tutorial that says chop off your nose? You have not.
That's step one.
Oh, I expect you to
Break your jaw with a hammer. Cut off your nose to spite your face.
Let's keep our movie news going. Anybody else got some for this y'all are gonna be on another episode of this show. Anybody else got some movie news? Mine's kind of distressing. But
I have movie and TV.
go ahead, shoot for it. And then Corey, you're up.
All right.
oh,
Wait.
Pharrell Williams,
Yeah.
fantastic singer, is doing a biopic. Everyone's Lego. It's a Lego movie, and it's a biopic
Wow.
of Pharrell Williams. It's called Piece by Piece. The trailer came out, I think today, maybe yesterday. It looks amazing.
Take my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am seated.
I
I am
haven't-
already seated.
I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah.
Take my money. Oh God.
so
Thomas Pharrell looks suave as a Lego.
What I
Adorable.
really wanted out of Lego movies, the next level was to, have serious nonfiction film noir
Also,
vibes.
let's be honest. A lot of biopics are boring looking. And I have that problem with biopics. A lot of them are shot in this very somber, very kind of desaturated nonsense. No! Give me Lego, give me Pharrell Williams, and give me Kendrick Lamar, Gwen Stefani, Timbaland, Snoop Dogg, Busta Rhymes, and Jay-Z.
So it's a musical biopic.
It is a musical. I don't know that it's a full music, but like it is based on
It's a
Pharrell
jukebox
Williams. So
musical.
Give me all of that. Snoop Dogg looks amazing as a Lego figure.
It is a dog.
Okay.
It is a dog.
Okay. Bear with me here. The happy video in Lego.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Put this in my veins.
You hear it in the trailer. Yeah.
Right in.
Yes.
I haven't seen the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer. I don't even need to see the trailer. I'll give you money for a ticket
I'm already
right now.
in the movie theater, seated. Like,
I'm so excited. And, like, there's a lot of reasons and a lot of ways to support Black voices. I don't watch a lot of very serious content. I like to watch horror. I like to watch kid stuff. I like to watch comedy. I like to watch music stuff. He's hitting on so many. He makes it so easy to support Black voices, especially knowing Robin Thicke's not in it. And that he disavowed that song and said I didn't realize and apologized for it. Like, we're good.
It's okay. A lot of people are fucked up until after a while. So
You can't tell. That's the
please do Lego.
When are we getting this?
I saw it.
Never come.
Hold on. October.
You never come with dates.
What is it? I know. I looked it up and then I forgot.
It doesn't matter. Nice. Zing.
I win.
14th, I think.
I swear I'm cutting that off for a short.
October 11th. Expected October 11th. We don't know for sure.
Okay, cool.
You can expect it on October 11th. She could be wrong though. Maybe not until next year.
Legos, bring
That's
it
when
on.
you could expect it.
And please do more movies where you just mess with the format. Please do that.
This is like Black Panther to me, where I'm like, I cannot wait to support and show how much of a market there is for this content.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was right. We were right about Black Panther. It was amazing.
Oh,
Let's
so
go.
good.
Let's go.
So I do want to confess something real fast. So when I first saw the picture that you posted in the chat, I saw it as like a really small picture. And my question, I was going to ask you why Frank Sinatra was a Lego. Because it looked like Frank Sinatra. And then I looked at it bigger. I'm like, wait, that's not...
My first
That's
thought was,
a
why are
little
they
more
doing
melanin.
the Music Man as
Yeah.
Lego? With the bow tie.
Yeah, when I could look at it bigger and see like the colors, like that's not right. That's somebody else.
They're so cool looking the way they've done different people. It's so cool to see people you know in real life, how they look done as Lego figures. I love it.
Yeah, October 11th.
Heck yeah.
Sweet. Cora, hit that movie news.
I don't have movie news.
You didn't? Oh, well, I got
No,
one.
I said
Damn.
I was gonna say I have horror game and
Oh, well, then I'm going to drop my
con.
movie news because this one sucks. It was announced today, if you live in the DFW area, that all Alamo Draft Houses would be closing immediately. Allow me to elaborate. Alamo Draft House is a franchise program. People buy into the franchise and create based off of their name. The ones that we have in the area were not, were franchises. They were not owned by individuals. They were owned by a corporation called, I had the name here. It was two is one, one is none. They said after 13 years, guest counts had not rebounded from the pandemic. Also with the strike, they will be unable to keep these places open. This is not individual businesses closing like you would see a McDonald's or something that was a franchise closing a store in an area due to poor sales or anything. Across the board in Dallas, they had it all, and they are losing it all as a whole. Now, Alamo Draft House themselves have announced they are looking into purchasing those buildings that were used in theaters to perhaps continue it, maybe bring it under other franchisement. I'm pretty sure there are people that are wanting to buy into this, but let's face some facts. COVID was a huge hit to the theater industry, and a strike later on did not help it either. We have seen declining ticket sales with movies like Furiosa, that were excellent but still suffered from low ticket sales because people aren't going to the theaters. But when you have things like The Fall Guy, which was a good film, but being released 2 weeks later on DVD, what are you doing? Why would I go to the theater?
Well, charge less, pay your employees more, and don't funnel all of your profits 3 franchises high to a CEO that owns a business that owns a business that owns a business that owns all the Alamo
And
Draft
there is
Houses.
some criticism on that too, because employees that work these theaters were asking for better wages and benefits, as they should. Things are more expensive. They need money. I would also like to go ahead and just throw some shade that these people did get a PPP loan. And a lot of it was forgiven. So, the money went somewhere. But they are calling it quits. Hopefully, Alamo Draft House as a whole, they are aware of it. And they are looking to get those franchises and do something with them. Maybe perhaps bring them under traditional franchise ownership, not corporations who buy out things and subsidize and try to, pull a Red Lobster. Where we're going to buy the land and then we're going to charge rent on the land. What the is wrong with you? This is stupid. People don't have the money to spend on things these days.
I will say, distributors are my number one who I look at. Theaters get so little profit anyway. Like, it's not just theaters, the whole film industry is suffering hugely, like, right now.
Yeah, I think that a lot of, movies are suffering because, like, we watched the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like the recent one that follows the Rocket storyline, which is a great storyline, and I actually liked the movie because I liked that story. But the wigs were so bad. The makeup was so bad. And like, what are we not able to hire the people in the industry who can handle all of this?
And give
Where's
them
the money
time to do their work.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I'm really confused by this. Like, where, like, they're making millions and millions of dollars, if not $1 billion, for some of the, highest grossing films of the year. Where is that going? Is that not going to the people that made the movie? Where does it go? And if the people who are siphoning off that money aren't making enough money, but, like, I don't understand.
And this is why the strike too, right? Like, no, they weren't paying them, and the model, we had to switch models of distributing within the last 10 years because of streaming, right? Movies can't make money on the back end through DVD sales like they used to, and so smaller movies weren't able to get made anymore. Everything needs to make $1 billion or a ridiculous amount of money, and
make $1 billion after spending $500
million. And they're just not getting paid.
Alamo had a bit of an advantage in this theater because they could actually do other, like, I am more likely to go to Alamo to watch a double feature of the Ultraman movies.
Yeah.
But while I'm there, instead of like a regular theater where I'm going to get a drink and popcorn, I'm going to get fried pickles. I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to get some food while I'm there.
You've got alcohol sales. You've got food
Exactly.
sales. How
I will say that's where they're making.
And
If you really want to support theaters, your tickets help some. You're getting your popcorn drink if that's what they have, or your fried pickles. I like chicken wings from there. Like, that's where they're actually making their money.
Yeah, I might get like a meal while I'm there, but also you don't have to show like everything that's out. You could do a showing of like, I just want to see this movie on the screen. Like, they've done plenty of showings of Japanese tokusatsu movies that I wouldn't get at a normal Cinemark or one of those places.
Magnolia used to do a ton of that. I didn't see Fight Club in the theater the first time. I saw it later in the Inwood Lounge, which is all love sacks and stuff, and it was really cool.
I watched the Lord of the Rings extended editions last year in an Alamo Draft House. Kat unfortunately couldn't make it. She hates Lord of the Rings. But like it was a community, and like that's the saddest thing to me.
That's the other part of it.
It's a community, especially the one in Richardson.
They would have cosplayers come out all the time. When we went to go see Five Nights at Freddy's, I dressed up as characters from Five Nights at Freddy's, and
we dragged a bunch of people to Singing in the Rain because we loved Singing in the Rain growing up, and they'd never seen it. Like,
so I think they had a leg up on things, and honestly, I've kind of seen them move away from a lot of that in the area. And
I think you're right about Red Lobster. I think somebody bought
That's
them and then
perfect
just
example.
sold it off for parts.
We watched the whole
Toys
John
R Us.
Oliver,
Yeah, John Oliver did a Red Lobster piece.
I'll never forgive him
and
for
like
Toys R
I
Us.
really want to see
Yeah.
theaters evolve and adjust. Let's bring back like Shadowcast Rocky Horror and like let's get some community fun stuff. The stuff where they show like the room with the cues of when you can say stuff and throw popcorn
Well, they've
and
hosted
all that stuff.
Maybe not
the
throw
show,
popcorn.
Danny Gallagher, they hosted one of his
Mocky
horror picture shows there, and it was great. They did Jack Frost, and it was funny. They were on.
Prime
the theater
material.
had plenty of people in there. You don't get those kind of events at regular Regal and Cinemark. So hopefully Alamo does step in.
Bring
please.
local. Let indie filmmakers do their screenings there.
Absolutely.
We went to a movie theater to see a movie she was in one time. Like, it did the first premiere.
Yeah.
We did that for
It was
one
fun.
that a friend of ours was making, and they had a trailer for that movie I was in. And I saw myself on the big screen. It was really weird. I went,
It's
oh my God, that was
weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the kind of stuff that Alamo was bringing, and I think they got away from it. But hopefully, they can get back to it because Alamo as a whole are not doing terrible.
Beloved. Yeah. Especially the one in Richardson.
So anyway, that's my movie news. Went long.
Kind of.
I know. Well, we're all kind of broken.
Yeah.
It's bad for the community. If we're ready to move on from movie,
How do we segue for bad from the community? Speaking of
TV?
bad,
Speaking of bad from the
no,
community.
let's do TV.
No
I don't have
TV?
TV.
TV?
What do I have? What's my other one? Kind of TV. Kind of. By the way. So, I don't know if you guys saw, Dropout dropped a new trailer. We are getting, hang on, let me get to this. We're getting a new Dropout TTRPG season. It is not D&D, as somebody predicted, because it's called Never Stop Exploding. And I said, that sounds like Kids on Bikes or something.
Wait, it's Never Stopped Blowing Up.
Sorry.
Because they've done Kids on
Still
Bikes before.
good enough.
Yeah.
So it makes
Yes,
sense.
yes, I was close, but whatever. Never stop exploding.
Yeah.
Blowing up, doing whatever you do with the fire. Anyway, that has been announced. It is coming out late June.
Oh.
And it has Brennan as DM, Izzy Rowling, it has Allie, it has Alex Songshia, I think, or I'm not sure how you say that, from Mintopolis, and also who's one of the people who writes Rick and Morty. It has Jacob Wazaki, who I've never seen at a D&D table. It has, who am I missing?
Iffy Noirtier.
Yes.
Iffy Noirtier.
That's who I was
And
leaning in
Reika
for.
Shankar.
Oh.
She's not in every season, Jason.
She's got
Our new BFF, Erica Ishii, is not.
Yeah,
in every
she
season.
told us she was busy when they went in our long
when
hangout.
we were hanging out.
Also would have liked to see Abria.
I would
Abria,
too.
you need to watch the Harry Potter one.
I would
Kids on
too,
Brooms.
but I'm so thrilled that they've expanded very deliberately, and they keep bringing. I mean, we never would have gotten Hank Green if they just stuck to people we already knew.
Right.
And that was
I
incredible.
love that. I loved when they did the series of drag queens.
Yeah.
Which they're doing another
fun.
season in the next year.
Which drag queens are great improvisers, right? So it makes sense. And
They
enough
were
of them
so
are
good.
That'd be
nerdy.
hilarious.
So
It's-
Oh, it slaps. You should watch it.
It's
Yeah.
Okay,
hilarious.
It's literally called Dungeons and Drag Queens. Which,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
features a Brennan,
Brennan
a little
is in drag.
spiced up.
Yeah.
Like,
Which then, if we could also talk about Iffy Nwadiwe, who is just
In
my
love.
favorite person.
He's the
I'm
one.
deeply in love with.
I got
Iffy.
stuck
You're
on the
watching
show
it right
when it-
now.
You're
Escape
watching
from the
Escape
Blood.
Yeah, I'm watching it,
Okay.
but I got stuck on the show. Also, they were sitting on the stumps.
Oh, the Game Changer.
Game Changer,
The
yes,
Survivor.
Yes, I like
Game
that. I like that
Changer's
show.
good.
Team
he's
Ireland.
amazing in Escape from the Bloodkeep, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
I ship his character with Matt Mercer's character, so forever.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
don't you think? I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Hey,
content on
Matt's
Dropout,
character
so.
is a very queer vibe. Which
Yeah.
I
No, it's
I
canon
think
gay.
Oh, is he?
Luckily,
I thought
It's been a while since
It's
I watched
been a
it.
minute.
luckily, I'm working some hellish hours and workload, so I get plenty of time to listen to things on Dropout. And
you
no one
listen
can
to
say
the-
anything.
The ninth season of Actually is hosted by Iffy Nwadiwe.
Oh,
yeah, and they brought in
nice.
Brian David Gilbert to be fact checker.
Yes,
Who's there voluntarily, as they say at the beginning of
Legally, they
every
have
show.
to say that
Yeah.
he does not live there.
I mean,
No, but
just
he
add it
lives
to my
there
list of things I gotta
voluntarily.
check out.
Yeah.
Corey, you haven't told us anything in a while, so you haven't even had it. We're doing a shorter stories. We're trying to get through them all.
Tell us what's up, Cora.
Yeah, just whatever you've got. Hit us.
All right. So this one's kind of a deep cut, but at this point, that's all I do on this show is throw some deep cuts and hope that people understand what I'm talking about.
I don't.
So, back in the olden days...
Oh, God. Whatever. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Of horror video games, Jason. There was a little game that revolutionized the genre and kind of pioneered the survival horror genre of video games, and it was called Clock Tower.
Yes.
And the original Clock Tower was never released over here in the United States. There's never been an official translation until now. They are releasing the original Clock Tower over here as Clock Tower Rewind. They have made some updates, however, the game is still going to run as it did on the Famicom.
The
And
what?
Go ahead, Corey.
The Famicom / the PlayStation. So those were the two systems that it was for at the time. So to give a little bit of background for the game, and actually I'm going to change my image. That is the poster, or not just the poster, but the cover for the game. But let's take a look at those graphics real quick.
That.
So the premise of the game is that you are playing as Jennifer. She is in an orphanage in Norway, and it is a point-and-click adventure where you have to get out of the house while avoiding the Scissor Man.
The Scissor Man!
The Scissor Man!
Wow!
He is actually kind of scary. Like, the scene will stop when he shows up in the room, and he just appears, and it's never fun.
Those are like scrapbooking scissors, though. Look at it.
Yeah, he chases you around. If he catches you, he can, like, cut you in half, or behead you, or all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting.
That's what it does.
I've seen some people play some fan translations of it, and it looks really interesting. We did get Clock Tower in the United States, however, we did not get the original. We got the second game, and it was just repackaged as the first, which, that's a shame. But you can look for this in the fall of this year. It will be for the Nintendo Switch, it will be for the PlayStation, for the Xbox. I think there's going to be one on Steam, but don't quote me on that, I can't remember.
Nah, I need this on Switch.
The changes that they're going to make, the manga cutscenes are going to be voice acted instead of just text on the screen.
Nice.
They have created an animation for the opening, so it's a little bit more interesting. And they've created their own music for it, so there's some like voiced music along with the game as well. And there was something about they had an interview with the original game designer at some point in the game, like somewhere in the game files. I don't know if it's like a separate thing that you can click on or if you have to beat the game first. They didn't really clarify that. But yeah, I just got real excited when I saw
That's cool. I remember, like, this is like, it's legendary video game history that you always hear with that footnote of we didn't really get it here.
This is one of those things I remember reading about in like a game magazine back in the day, and saying like, "Oh, we might get this as a release," and we never did.
But it's coming.
The thing I like the most about Clock Tower, just real quick, is that you could get to a room and be like, "Ah, yes, this is where I'm supposed to escape. There's the thing that helps me escape." And you go to click on it, and either you can't click on it yet, or you click on it and you have to find something to make it work, and as you're exploring it, you hear the footsteps of the Scissor Man, and you have to hide, because it's a dead end.
And you can see it right there.
Did you say...
Stop it! No! No! I'm not doing it.
Maybe he just wants to...
Wow. And you said the foot stuff was inappropriate.
Like,
Y'all don't watch wrestling.
Scissoring on camera.
Yeah, that's where that came from.
Live scissoring.
For the record, there are two gay wrestlers known as the Acclaimed, and that's their thing. They scissor. And the catchphrase,
like
their third partner is Badass Billy Gunn.
Sure.
He's in his 60s, and they say, "Scissor me, daddy ass."
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's fun, horny. Like,
Anyway,
But yeah, so
Be on the lookout for Clock Tower,
the scissor.
a certified genre changer of horror. And
What do we have
maybe
a problem with this word? Jeez.
Everybody doing
every time I say it, it sounds like horror. And maybe in time it will lead to some other games in that genre that never made it over here from Japan.
Port it all.
So that we can see it, we can play it, official ports. Maybe this is not a horror game, but in my heart, I'm hoping that we'll get Mother 3 over here. Please.
And let me just say, it's so important to have a translation of it, because if you try and play a horror game in a foreign language, and you click on the door, and it says you need a thing,
You mean
but it says it in Japanese.
Yeah.
content from other countries doing well in the U.S.? Like,
Yeah, I know.
like one milestone this weekend, Godzilla -1 was #1 on Netflix and iTunes at the same time. First movie to ever do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is in our rotation to watch at some point.
It's
like
required
this month.
watching.
It was great. I've seen that.
All right.
Almost New Monarch.
Well, that was gaming. Anybody else want to hit with some gaming? No?
I want to say that echolalia is a symptom of ADHD and autism, just in case all of
I
our
don't know what that means.
horror.
Where you have to repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll work on
Just
that.
so we all know.
I'm not working on it. I
Cats,
keep
And-
doing it.
what have you got? Since we're just
Okay,
kind of...
baby.
In the void
my
here.
real quick.
Go ahead.
I have good news and bad news.
Oh.
The bad news is that the next season of The Last of Us will only be 7 episodes instead of 9.
I mean,
The good news is that's because the second game will take 2 or 3 seasons
Yay!
to get through. Craig Mazin
Wow.
said 2 or 3 seasons.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, thinking about the second game,
Makes sense.
yeah, it's a long game and it's a complicated game.
I mean, are we getting more kind of original content? Because
Maybe.
I'm all for
There. Well, also because like. Nope. Spoilers.
that. No
They
spoilers.
have
Flashbacks.
We know.
I think a lot of flashbacks would be appropriate based on actors' schedules and stuff. So like, I think a lot of flashbacks would be fun. Maybe 1 per episode for
I'm
the
down.
first season.
Based on beloved characters. That's all.
that
That's all.
have are chilling in Alaska during the
Okay.
game, just hanging out.
People
Just-
have limited
off-screen.
exposure in Last of Us 2.
No, I'm not going to say anything else.
I will say that the first season showed a very good balance of adding some sticking to the purest heart in the things that we wanted to see. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd episode is all entirely original to the TV show. It was one of the best episodes. I bawled like a little baby.
So the Nick off.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh god.
Also got him an Emmy. Like,
I didn't know that. Aww.
amazing and all original to the TV show. So yeah,
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. There's a lot that they can do, and Craig, my friend Craig, is absolutely amazing at adapting this story. So I trust him with whatever he wants to do.
Also, just Nick Offerman, top peak masculinity the right way. Like,
Oh, it was so good. Bald. I
The
didn't
libertarian
cry
dream.
one episode of the first season. Just every single episode, bawled my eyes out. It's good.
when she said she didn't cry one episode, she means she cried
Yeah, yeah.
all the
Every
episodes
episode.
except for one.
It
was sad.
Well, you still got one in the chamber. Oh, you're done?
I'm done. I just had two.
It's getting late.
Well, I got a quick one. Of course, the Academy Awards have always been accused of being a little out of touch, maybe. They did do an announcement for a new category called for casting directors, which, why? But one that I have always, yes. What?
Why casting directors?
Casting directors, maybe in the next 2 years they're launching that.
And you're confused about why?
Well, before the
Oh,
one that
what
I'm
you
about
do.
to talk about,
Okay.
because for a while I have advocated that stunt actors deserve a category
Absolutely.
in the Academy Awards. We would not have some of these great action sequences without the daring bravery of these men and women who make this look great on screen.
Sure.
They are the unknown stuntman and women who make everybody else look good. So they absolutely do need a category. I follow so many stunt actors on Instagram because I am impressed by their work. As you know, somebody that bounce around in martial arts and stuff like that. Yeah. That's hard work what they do. When we were at SDCC and I met Peter Jang, who's a great stuntman, and he was just happy to be recognized. Well, here you go. That's what they want. Some recognition. So Empire Magazine did sit down with some of the members from the Academy at this last Cannes Film Festival, and with The Fall Guy being released recently, there was a lot of pressure on that stunt team, who was fantastic, for them to possibly get awards. It is deserved. They work as hard as everybody else on that film set, so they absolutely deserve a category for Best Stunt. Think about some of the most memorable scenes that we've seen in movies where they've done something amazing. That was a human being doing it.
That Daredevil sequence that's like a minute and a half with no cuts.
Thank you.
Oh, the hallway?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the other one in the prison.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah.
They break their limbs.
They die.
Yes, they get hurt.
Yeah.
Oh.
All to make this look great. They are in physical danger. So they are talking about, yes, there is, that is something we're talking about. It is something that we need to adapt with the times. Especially with a lot more movies relying on CGI stunts and everything.
Right.
I like that this will encourage practical.
Right. Practical stuff looks better. We
I
watched Tron the other day. Just the first Tron. And, like, okay, the graphics were interesting. But, like, it was cool to see all of those, like, lead actors or, their characters rolling and it being a person and not just CGI. Like, it looked better, in my opinion.
In my childhood, my best friend, her dad was a stunt man. He's actually worked on a ton of stuff that you've seen, I guarantee. And yeah, so we'd go to the theater sometimes and she'd be like, yeah, that's my dad hanging off the helicopter, by the way. Yeah, that's my dad under the horse, by the way. Like, so good, but would come home like, sometimes pretty wrecked. Yeah, I broke a couple ribs.
Yes.
Underneath a horse. Horses were one of his specialties. He worked on Walker, Texas Ranger for forever.
Oh, that's cool.
One of my favorite stunt
Also,
actors is
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Luke Cage.
Daredevil.
Oh.
A ton you've seen, I guarantee.
One of my favorite stunt workers is Heidi Moneymaker. She was.
I love her. I follow her.
Yes, Heidi is awesome, and now she's moved into a stunt director position.
Nice.
And everything that I'm following, everything she does, like the woman is like a cat, just will not fall.
I like someone for Supergirl.
Like she's like, oh, look at me wipe out as I bend my body but never hit the ground. Give these people their flowers.
And to your point, they're becoming more and more frequently. They go to Stunt Rigger, which is the one who designs a lot of it usually, and then they start to direct, and they're very influential in storytelling.
Or somebody like Lateef Crowder, who is doing all of the movements for The Mandalorian. Everything that he's doing, jumping around and everything, that is Lateef Crowder in that suit. It's not popular, it's and that's cool. They're there to make the actors look good.
The stunt double for Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, please make this happen. I mean, don't talk about it anymore. Make it happen.
And that's the next step to getting to like video games and Oscars too. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
That's the
I mean,
route.
Yeah.
Cora, take us home. Cash, you're done, right?
I'm done.
Cora, the pressure's on you.
Oh man, I'm
Take us home.
I'm so sorry. I'm sad when I'm sorry. So another thing that's very prominent in the Dallas area, if it's not Alamo Draft House, it's a number of conventions within the area, and sadly, one of the premier anime conventions of the area, Animefest, will no longer be holding large-scale events. I do need to point out that this is the last year they're doing large-scale events. They have come out and made it clear that they're going to still do smaller-scale events. So they're not going away, which is what had me afraid the first time they talked about it. But they're not going to be holding events as large as they normally do.
A-Fest is one of the cool ones.
Exactly.
One of my favorites.
It has been run by the World Fandom Organization for 32 years.
Wow.
That is a long ass time. If you would like to go to this last little hurrah for the convention, it will be held at the Lowe's Arlington Convention Center, obviously in Arlington, Texas, from June 25th through June 28th. Again, this is the last of their large-scale events, and they will keep us, like, in the know when they do some of the smaller scale events that they are undoubtedly planning for next year.
Please go to this one.
Yes.
Like, show them that they should
fun.
still plan events. But I will say one of the cool things about A-Fest is its small vibe.
Yeah.
So if they condense to hone in on that, like...
I like this convention. I hate to hear this.
My only gripe about where this one is going to be is it means that they don't have a space that's open for the artist alley. Like, there will be an artist alley, obviously. There's always going to be an artist alley, but the appeal for it at the Sheraton was that anyone could come in without buying a ticket and shop the artist alley, and the artists could stay there as late as they wanted. There were several artists that would be there until 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Because the raves and all of that, all these people were drunk. They're gonna come and buy they're gonna come buy a print of I don't know, Goku without his shirt.
I know. Roadhog and Junkrat that you bought me.
Yeah.
For Cass and I's cosplays that I still have. That was just a local artist, local smaller booths, cheaper booths that they had. Like, that's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, and this one, unfortunately, because of the convention center, they will have to put the artist alley behind a door, probably in the dealer's hall, which does suck, but I feel like if this is the year, or if there was ever a year to just bone up and buy the ticket for the convention, this is the year.
Yeah.
It'll help. It will help fund them in the future for any of their small-scale events.
Yeah. If you can make it, go to this final.
I got the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fulfill somebody's dream because they shipped Genji and Junkrat. I showed up dressed up as Junkrat, and she was Genji, and we took some pictures.
Oh, it's a weird one, yeah.
All right.
But it was still so fun just to fulfill that weird shit.
That was part of the awesomeness of Animefest, just being able to like go and hang out in the artist alley.
Yeah. Make friends.
That's where
you make
everything was
friends
happening anyway.
at Animefest in a way you don't at every convention.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story from Animefest. So when I was in college, I was with a group of people that cosplayed from Sherlock, the TV show on BBC. I was Moriarty.
Good for you. My favorite.
I had a lot of fun with that. I had my cheap plushy crown from like the thrift store or whatever. It was great. We met someone that was cosplaying Sherlock, and they had specifically done the I don't remember what episode it was, where he jumped out the window and got really hurt.
Mm-hmm. It was the last
Reichenbach Fall.
Last of
yes.
season 2, right?
Yeah. Something,
because the opening of season 3 was fan theories.
It's I don't remember the name of the episode, but it is season 2, episode 3.
And they had like a little container of fake blood that they were just like reapplying to their head. It was really funny, and we decided to go into the parking garage to take pictures. I still have the picture from one of them. We dumped a bunch of the blood on the ground, and I used it to write "Moriarty is alive" with a little smiley face. But as I'm writing in this blood and someone is like taking pictures with their phone as if they've found a crime scene, there was a car that drives by, and someone caught a glimpse of the guy looking in. It had the look of, do I call the police?
Yes.
Is this okay?
Yes, you do.
I mean, you do.
Fast forward a few months later, and I'm talking to a friend of mine, Brienne, in the cafeteria. She brings up that her friend saw something horrific at Animefest, so they don't know if they're going to go back. And I was like, what happened? And it was them. It was them.
That's amazing.
It was my good college friend and her buddy that saw
amazing.
I saw somebody drawing in blood.
Funny story about Animefest, though. That was when Chris and I started the show, year 1. They let us live stream from their floor. They put us smack in the middle of the artist alley, and they were like, here's your table. And somehow we made the damn thing work. Like, this was before everything got streamlined.
Yeah.
We were using like 2 computers, one for sound, one for streaming, and somehow got this to work. And we returned there a couple times to live stream, and they let us. That was where we had one of our most successful events, where we did the screening of, what was it, Samurai Cop. A late night screening where we riffed this film, and we're walking up to the room that we were going to, And I'm talking to Cora. I was like, "Oh, that's a long line for something." It was for our room.
I wasn't there for that. That was not me.
That was not you. That was
that was like the one year I got sick and couldn't go.
well.
He probably wasn't talking to anyone else. He probably was just talking to
Oh,
you. Assuming you were sat behind him.
Legitimately, you may have sent me a text about that.
Oh, okay. But we've done a lot of successful events there.
Yeah.
We had a podcast event. We've been on the big stage. We did a show one Thursday night live from there.
Yeah, we threw prizes to the people.
Yeah.
There.
So it's really disheartening to hear. These guys kind of helped us when we were first getting started. Have been pretty much supportive when we wanted to come out. So we won't be able to attend this year.
So go.
Oh,
yeah.
July 26th?
Yeah, we're going to be out of town.
Yeah.
And our house.
California.
So, but, you know, we'll definitely attend some of the smaller events. Maybe, you know, it's not like you said, Cora. It's not going away.
Yeah, that is the upside in all of this is while we don't know what events they have planned for us in the coming years, they aren't going away. They just realize they can't fund a large scale thing like ACON could. And I say could because they've also like pulled back, which I mean honestly I don't feel like that's a big loss.
I mean they shot themselves in the foot a lot.
I have no high opinion on ACON. I'm not shy about it. I've seen how the workings. I've seen the workings behind the scene with the dealers since I worked as a dealer there for many years.
They've treated me like crap when I've supplied. I don't really like ACON anymore.
Yeah, we're not bummed about it.
We're not bummed about ACON, but we're real bummed about A-Fest. But
change ownership.
Again,
anyway,
still here.
So yeah, I hope one day for a return to greatness for Animefest because it is a really good convention.
And it's a good reminder to support the smaller local cons. Some of the most fun to be had, some of the greatest artists you can support are at smaller cons.
For sure.
All right, well, we made it through it.
Bummer
guys,
of an ending, Cora.
I'm sorry.
She'll let her go first.
High note, Acon's not as popular anymore.
That is a high note.
We don't even want to go.
I saw more people sharing great stories and like reminiscing about A-Fest than I did when ACON made their announcement.
This is true.
And I found out ACON's announcement because I accidentally clicked on their page.
Ugh.
No one was even
click.
It's like
and it was
accidentally
days
watching
old. No one was
Catwoman
talking
on
about
Max.
it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the show. Guys, come out to Fan Expo this weekend. Of course, drop by and check out all the D&D activities that our Five-Sided Fates friends will be providing. And of course, come and watch the show at 6 p.m. while I destroy everybody.
With the D&D knowledge you have?
Yes, absolutely.
We'll see.
I am confident that I will win.
I mean, confidence is everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is there like a title belt I can wear? Like, I'll bring my own. Anyway.
She said she's making
Please
it.
bring one.
I want a
Please
championship
bring one
belt.
for the winner.
Yeah, look forward to taking it from you.
I will get one made for this show.
If you guys can't answer the questions, I am turning it over to the audience. So the audience.
So we have a chance to get humiliated by the audience.
I am here for this kind of...
I don't know anything about GoBots.
And you
power through.
You can logic your way into it.
Yeah.
So come check it out at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Center. We'll be there. And come check out our friends, of course. Astrid, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You are welcome
so fun.
anytime.
Thanks for bringing
always
your
come
feet.
by.
Thank you so much.
For free.
Just full circle
You're welcome.
back around.
Internet.
I'll be sure
To
to
the
rate it on
of
WikiFeet when
this
they
show.
show up.
Yeah, give me a 10 out of 10 at least.
I don't know if it's 5 stars or
Gotta
10,
rate-
but whatever
gotta
it
rate
is,
it, girl.
you'll get the
But
best.
while we got you here, where can they find you? And maybe some other things that you and the guys do? Huh?
We are going to be running games for TTRPGs in room D220, right in the first hall when you get into Kay Bailey Hutchinson Center. And all of our panels are going to be in either D171, 173, or 161. They've got us all over. So
Where can they find you
us.
online?
Online is what you were really asking about, and what I'm telling you now is at Blastin Astrid on Instagram, or Blastin Astrid Cosplay on TikTok, or Five-Sided Fates on all the other social media platforms.
Make sure you keep an eye on any conventions they might be doing as well. Because they did an awesome one.
It was a hit.
Yes, it was. All right, and of course, you can find us at SCNS Live on all social media, supercoolnerdshow.com. But if you want to follow us personally, you can follow me at JasonLeX.
Find me at BetterCat on Insta.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at The Good Cast.
For now, you can find me on Instagram at CoroDonoArt, but I might be moving platforms.
Well,
They just got problems out there. Anyway, guys, that is it for us. We'll see you next week. And as we always say around here, keep on nerding.
Foot stuff.
Do you have handles on WikiFeet? What are they?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Mercifully,
Got a tagger.
please stop.